Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now, as you probably saw from the thumbnail, this one is going to be a little bit different. I've actually had a request come down a very long time ago now to do a car review. It's for the Mitsubishi VGT and GT Sport. Now, this isn't something that I've ever done before, but they've asked me to look into the various aspects of the vehicle and, you know, give my opinion on what I think about it. I'm very happy to do this. Like I say, it's something different, which is always nice, and it's another aspect of GT Sport that I don't often get to look into, or I don't choose to look into. I spend a lot of time doing the drifting. I've spoken to quite a few of you guys now in the comment sections and things, and there's lots of parts of this game that I just don't touch. More recently, I've been doing the drift trials, and I've also been doing a little bit more of the online racing as well. Not that I'm doing particularly well with it. But anything that's going to make me look at different parts of the game, I think is a great idea, and it just broadens what, you know, my thoughts and what I'm actually enjoying within the game. So what you're now seeing is actually a 3-lap race on Dragon Trail. This is just a single race that I selected from the arcade menu within the game, using the Mitsubishi obviously, and I haven't adjusted anything on the car. It's all completely stock, including the tyres. I've set the AI to professional, and I just did a few of these races just to see, you know, how competitive the car is, how easy it is to use, and judge its handling and everything. Before I talk about what I think of the car, I think it's important that we take a look at what the car actually comes with, and the design and what they were going for with this vehicle in the first place. Just like all the Vision cars within GT Sport and previous Gran Turismos for that matter, these are very much concept cars. They're cars that obviously the manufacturers feel like they could produce using technology that they currently have, and also technology that's in development, so coming soon. And what they're trying to do is achieve the best car they possibly can, or certainly the best handling or the fastest, whatever they're going for specifically, and put it out to Gran Turismo, obviously for everyone to enjoy and obviously show off what they could do. Now this one comes with a 3-litre hybrid engine. It produces 502 brake horsepower and 748 foot-pound of torque, and that's only at 1000 RPM, which is very impressive. But the downside of this one is it weighs 1,350 kilograms, but that may be partly down to the fact that it is 4-wheel drive. In terms of body styling, obviously you've got front and rear diffusers on the vehicle, and it has a very clever system with the 4-wheel drive as well that's very similar to torque vectoring, where you can actually isolate the power to each wheel and obviously help get round the corners in multiple ways by driving the power to wherever you want it. So on paper it is a little bit 50-50 with this one. You've got a decent amount of power, not the most to be honest with you, but enough. But you've also got an incredibly heavy car, so is it ever going to be competitive? It's impossible to know. And the problem is with this car and a lot of cars in GT Sport, they're put into the Group X category, and there's just such a variety in there that it becomes incredibly difficult to actually, you know, compete with one another within that category unless you're using the same car. And this is the issue even when you pick the single event like I have done here on the arcade menu. All you can do is race against all of the same car because there's nothing else out there that's very similar. So I guess in one respect the races are very close and it's exciting, as you'll see from this one. It was only really down to the last corner that I come close to winning, but at the same time there's no diversity there, and it's very difficult to, yeah, like I say, put them against the other cars. The other thing as well, in a track situation like the one you're watching now, this car just doesn't feel that quick. Now, bearing in mind it is in that Group X category with things like the Tomahawk and the Bugatti VGT, things like that. It's just nowhere near as special as those cars when it comes to speed anyway. But yeah, this car does have one very nice feature, and that's its handling. This thing is amazing in the corners. With that 4-wheel drive system, you've got so much confidence going in. You get very, very little understeer, albeit a small amount, but never does it oversteer. It doesn't want to rip your head off, but it just, you can point it where you want to, and this thing will go around the corner as you expect it to, and it's a fantastic car when it comes to that side of it. But even with that all being said, there is another area where this car really does excel, and that's the rally discipline. Now, whether it's just because Mitsubishi themselves have got such an amazing rally pedigree that this car seems to excel here, I don't know, but it could also be down to that 4-wheel drive system that this car has. But this thing is unstoppable, and I mean unstoppable. Within my first 2 laps with this car, I'd nearly beaten my record with the R32 build that I did a couple of months ago, and that car's got 842 brake horsepower versus this one's 502. Weight wise they're almost identical, so it just goes to show you how good the handling on this car is, and just how effective it is around that course. and that's with no tune whatsoever. I mean, what is really remarkable about this is the fact that you seem to be able to put it on a normal track, point it where you want it to go, and it will go there. You can put it on dirt and it does exactly the same thing. It doesn't react in any way different. The grip is just endless, and even when you are oversteering, it's in such a comfortable way. This car is just so controllable. Which then brings us to the big question, is it worth $1 million credits? And my answer to that is I really don't know, to be honest with you. I think from a sensible point of view, not really, no. If you want it as a good rally car, it's fantastic, but it's Group X. You can't put it against anything other really than itself. And likewise, if you use it on the track, you've got exactly the same problem again. So there's not many situations you can really use it in, unless you just want to go out and enjoy it, in which case it's great fun. It really is. You can have some really nice tight races against other Mitsubishis on either dirt or track, and at the same time you can just go and take it onto a dirt track and just really enjoy it. So from that respect, yes, it's worth the money, but not if you want it for anything practical. So really this one just comes down to you and whether you actually want it or whether you've got the money spare to actually spend on it. It's certainly not a car that I would have ever have gone out and bought myself, but because I got asked to do it, I did, and I'm glad I did. And now I've got it in the collection, I probably will use it again. I really enjoyed it for rally. Whether I take it out on a track again, probably not. But yeah, you know, it's one of those. It's a good fun car, but you don't have to have it. It's not essential. That's going to be the end of my first car review. I hope you've enjoyed it, and make sure you use the comment section down below to let me know if you did, if there's any other cars you'd like to see me review, or if you thought I did a terrible job and there's something I should be doing instead. I'd also like to hear from you. If you're new around here, or if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty of videos like this coming out all the time, and also give the video a like. It really helps them grow when you do that, and I'll see you all on the next one.